Hello and welcome to this video here. I wanted to make a little recap of the last 100 days of grinding 16-star blindfolded for the sub 20. So I will just talk a bit about the whole journey, recap what happened, the biggest milestones, all the new world records and everything you basically need to know to be on track, because we are very close to finishing this whole project out. The sub 20 is literally can happen any single day now, so let's check this out. Let's go right into it. If you're watching this, definitely leave me a comment if you like this video or like this type of video, especially because this is something pretty new that I want to try. Just like talking to you without a script, showing you stuff live, and yeah, give me some feedback. Thank you very much, and let's deep dive right into it. So 16-star blindfolded, here we are now seeing the world record of blindfolded SM64. When I started this whole journey, it was in the beginning of the year. Actually, the whole idea of blindfolded sub 20 came into life at the very end of 2023 when the LBLJ route kind of started happening, and I wanted to kind of prove that it is possible to still improve the run by quite a bit. So as you can see, the world record at the last world record that I have set was at a time of 22 minutes and I believe 22 seconds when I hit the final throw right here. This world record was done quite a while ago. It was, I think, still in 2022. Not exactly sure when exactly, but it was quite a while ago. So July 21, I see, yeah. So yeah, the last time the world record was set was in July 2023. That was kind of the last time I really actively ran 16-star, because after that I started to play with the idea of 0-star, which I also did over the last half year, like from mid-2023 to 2024. And yeah, this year was the last 16-star world record that really happened, and it was very big. It was very cool. Like, it was the new minute barrier, the first 22-minute run, but I knew it could be still done better, especially after 0 and 1-star. I knew that I have the capability of doing LBLJ much more consistent than I used to. At January 2024, to be very precise, 15th of January 2024, I started a new journey. I was on vacation for over Christmas and New Year's, and then I came back in January and just told my community, okay, I have a new project, I have a new idea. I want a sub 20 in blindfolded SM64. And people were like, okay, you are insane, this is not gonna happen, this is a very ambitious project. But I knew that I want to try. I knew it would take a long time. I knew this would be a very crazy project, because a sub 20 is considered a very decent beginner time for a visual player. And to get a sub 20 blindfolded would mean like crazy news. Like, that would be history right there, dude. I wanted to just try to do what I do best, like try to prove that things that seem impossible are actually possible. So I sat down on day one and day one of the grind. There's two dates that we're gonna follow now. Like, the actual dates, this was 15th of January, but also day one of the grind. And with day one of the grind, I mean stream days, because I did nothing of this whole grind off stream. Everything I did was on stream. All the practice, all the runs, all the prep, I did everything on stream, and I basically labeled every single stream with a day progression. So like day 1, day 2, day 3, and I stream 4 times a week, or like 4 to 5 times a week since this whole project started. So we can very nicely see like the whole progress. But yeah, 15th of January, the whole beginning of the project, I started with a no reset 16-star run. As I said, the last time I ran 16-star was a long time ago, more than half a year ago, and I just wanted to see how it goes. I ended up with a pretty decent time of, I believe it was 26 minutes. Like, 26 minutes is considered a pretty good time. Like, even nowadays, there are only 3 people who ever gotten a sub 30, so 26 is like pretty huge. Like, this was a D-Rust run after half year, so I was pretty happy, but this was also the last run that was really done with the no LBLJ category, because after that things became crazy because, first of all, Summoning Salt happened. Many of you are here actually today because of Summoning Salt, I believe. Summoning Salt decided to make a documentary about 16-star Blindfolded, and it was funny because we were like in the talks since end of December when I kind of had the idea of this grind, and yeah, he wanted to make a history video of 16-star, but I was also right in the middle of making new history for 16-star. So it was very crazy because on day 13, only day 13 of the grind, there was lots of optimization and stuff going on. I tried to find new strats and especially tried to implement the new route, which is the LBLJ route, which is a very, very difficult, for those who don't know what the LBLJ route is, I made lots of video about it already. But basically, in the beginning of the run, you perform a very, very precise trick called LBLJ, Blindfolded, which is very, very tricky. And you go early into the first Bubzia stage so that you can later, like, it's very complicated, but long story short, it saves 40 seconds throughout the run. On the offhand, that it's insanely difficult and you need to reset in the beginning a ton until you get one run going. Day 13, 12th of February, was kind of the first few runs that I did with this new route, and funnily enough, this was, I think, the second finished run with a LBLJ route. And on that day, day 13, we started out pretty strong and got a new world record. So yeah, the world record of the time was a 21 minute 47 second, which is a huge improvement, as you might see. This is a new minute barrier broken right away. Second run ever performed with the new route. So we all knew that this route was insanely fast, but also insanely difficult. In the back of my head, I constantly had Summoning Salt in the background. I was talking with him and like talking about the documentary and stuff. So I was insanely happy that I could still put this new route into the video of Summoning Salt, because the video was already in the making. Like, it was literally already more than half finished, and then I got this world record on February 12th. And then Summoning Salt was like, okay, I'm gonna still put a little ending in there for you, like outlook, you know, what is gonna happen with 16-star. And yeah, that was day 13 of the grind. And then on day 16 of the grind, like 3 streaming days later, but it was actually on 3rd March, the Summoning Salt video dropped about Super Mario 64, a history video, and that was really huge, and it blew up. Like, as you can see, it has 2.2 million views, which is for Blindfolded standards insanely big. The crazy and the good thing was that lots of people got introduced to Blindfolded speedrunning through it, which, yeah, it is super nice, because we were right at the start of a big grind, and then new people would be able to see and also follow the whole process, and that made me very happy. And it also blew up my YouTube stream, kind of, because I also started streaming on YouTube, and yeah, since then I have a basically functioning YouTube stream, which is pretty crazy. Then the next big thing that happened, March 14th, on day 24 of the grind, SGDQ submissions. SGDQ is the biggest speedrunning event in the world in America, and it is in person, and I wanted to submit something, but I didn't know what. So I came up like literally one day before I submitted 1 star, like what I got the new world record recently in. I submitted like Blindfolded Dark Souls, all the crazy stuff. Then one day before submission ended, I just was like, okay, I will invent a completely new category and I will do Blindfolded Randomizer Mario. Yeah, I just like for like 1 or 2 days started routing this. I went away a bit from the grind and then started running Randomizer and just submitted it, which was pretty random, but people liked it, so it was cool. And then next up was a long period of just pure optimization and trying to find new strats, because we got a new world record with the LBLJ route, but yeah, a sub 20 was still so far away. Like a sub 20 still seemed impossible. So between day 0 and day 40, there was a whole lot of streams that were just like, okay, let's search for new time saves. Let's optimize every single second that we play. So lots of new ideas came to life in this period. I made a whole video called The Journey to Blindfolded SM64 Speedrun Perfection, which you can see now in the background. And it talks about many tiny new time saves. For example, how we replaced the Klepto Star, which was still in the world record at the time, with Logless. And Logless is like one of the most precise and hard tricks now in the run. And it is fast. It is really fast, but also so difficult. Like, it is currently the biggest run killer by far. We tried to make the sub 20 happen. We tried everything we can to just like gain any kind of advantage, to minimize, like, if we make mistakes, we want to still be as close as possible to a potential sub 20 as we can. And it was really tricky because the game is so optimized already that it's like really hard to find new stuff. And as you can see here, for example, my sum of best at the time was a 19-minute 49, so it was like barely possible to sub 20. I would need to play perfect for 20 whole minutes, which will not happen. That's why I tried to optimize extremely much and just bring the potential sum of best down as low as possible. Of course, that meant we need to sacrifice lots of consistency, but that was worth it in many cases, and we had to like do a balancing of speed versus consistency. Then on 26th April, on day 45 of the grind, there was actually an announcement that, yeah, I did get selected to SGDQ, which was like, how did they accept Blindfolded randomizer over like 1 star or Dark Souls and stuff, which is like, it was so crazy because it was just like this fun idea that I had one day before submissions closed, but it meant that I will travel to the US for a whole week, and it also meant that I will need to stop grinding 16 star a tiny bit because I need to focus on practice for this. So in the next few days of the stream, it was pretty rough because you need to understand that the LBLJ route is really mentally taxing, because you are sitting there resetting every single run basically, and you just hope that you get one attempt past LBLJ only for Canonless to kill it, only for Logless to kill it, only for BLJs to kill it, only for MIBs to kill it, only for Bowser in the Sky to kill it, only for Bowser 3 to kill it. There is so many difficult points now on this optimized state, and you get maybe one run per day out of a 3-hour stream where you get past the first stage. It was insanely frustrating to run this. Like, I cannot overstate how mentally taxing this was, which also led to some fun little new findings. For example, because we started failing Canonless after, like, imagine you finally, after the whole day, you finally manage to get past LBLJ, and then you fail Canonless. You fail something so easy because of RNG. And that's why we like sat down, really like deep dove into the science behind Canonless. And that's also what I made like a whole video about, like the history of Canonless, because I found basically within one stream a new strat that works 100% of the time without losing time. So it was finally consistent, and such tiny strat change where like Canonless, like I found this 100% Canonless setup, it made running so much easier because I knew like, okay, I finally did LBLJ, I finally did Dark World Reds, and now I will not need to fear to instantly reset to some stupid Canonless stuff. These tiny changes made such a huge difference in mentality for me. The problem that I was talking about a tiny second ago, now I had to also juggle the randomizer and GDQ because I needed to perform a completely new run that I basically didn't practice much before. I needed to play this in front of 80,000 people, and I was not prepared. I was honestly not prepared. I thought like, yeah, I have time and stuff, and then I started. What I did is I did runs or like practice and optimizations for around 2 hours of the stream, and then the last hour of the stream I always switched to randomizer to grind that and practice that. And for like a whole month we did this consistently, and I couldn't finish a single run. Like, I could not finish randomizer. It was much harder than I expected. So I was sitting there with like tons of pressure, already super stressed because of the LBLJ route. I couldn't get like runs going at all. It was really frustrating. And then you switch every single stream being tired to randomizer, practice it, and like you fail it, you know? It doesn't work out. And you know, okay, in a month I need to perform this in front of so many people. So it was a really rough time for me. Eventually it got better. We finally managed to like get better at randomizer, so it reduced a bit. But you know, this like juggling between the two big projects was really rough. I just continued grinding, and then on day 62, no, on day 61 actually. On day 61, because I didn't have enough to do already, On day 61, I finally released a whole 16-star tutorial for blindfolded speedrunning. So that was a huge project. It's a 4.5-hour tutorial that I put together. I put lots of effort into this over the last 2 years, actually. This was nothing I was just doing right now, but over the 2 last years, I was constantly working on this. And I knew that people from Summoning Salt, people from the grind, like there were lots of new viewers for blindfolded 16-star. People constantly kept asking, like, okay, but how do you do this? How can I do this? How can I try myself? So I decided, like, okay, I will sit my butt down and finally like work on it properly, edit it together and release it. So that was also a huge decision that I took, and I'm very happy that it's out now, but it was lots of work. So I'm very happy that this got out of my mind as well. This whole 16-star grind, it was just like so many things juggling together. And yeah, this was the end of May. So we already were grinding for 5 months at this point, and we got the last world record on the 2nd day of LBLJ, right? And then the next 60 days, 2 whole months, I did not get a single run past the end game. Like, you need to let that sink. Like, that's rough, dude. I could not. It was such a hard route. It was mentally so draining, and yeah, it was just hard. And then day 62 of the grind, June 3rd, happened. I finally got the run past Logless, past Dark World. I managed I think a first try Logless even, and this was also then the first really run with Logless, because as I said, the previous world record did still have the Klepto star in. So this was the first run that actually made it past Logless, and it did have, unfortunately, very unfortunately, it did have a cannonless fail. Long story short, you can see this cannonless thread right here, where a long jump. I already had this good cannonless thread, but I still had this faster one. And this cannonless failed once, and I just fell down here. This cannonless is 5 seconds faster, and I was so desperate for any kind of time save that I was like, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna risk it. It is early enough. I got better with time with LBLJ and stuff. And yeah, it's the same thing I said. You finally, after a whole day of grinding, you make it past Dark World, and then you fail cannonless. And like, it's so frustrating. It's so incredibly frustrating. So yeah, we had a cannonless fail. I still got Logless first try afterwards, and then I entered endgame. I did Diadox perfectly. We go into Fire Sea, and yeah, Fire Sea is a very hard stage. These days, I'm very, very good at it, and I think I make it look a bit easy. But right here, I missed the jump. I missed the jump right there, and I got burned twice, so I have to do a backup. And what that means is Fire Sea is a very cycle-based stage. That means that we can only do certain actions on certain music parts. So here I need to wait now for the next cycle to hit. And the thing is, I don't really practice the backup cycle because I am at such a high level of speedrunning right now that, like, if this happens, it's basically a reset, as sad as it is. I really tried my best because I knew this was a first try Logless. I knew that I'm on pace by a lot. So I try the backup, I try like everything I can, and I make it up to the upper platform. This is the hard part. Like, if you are here, it's usually like, okay, you succeeded the backup. And I go up, and I think it will happen like right here. I get burned because I got unlucky RNG, and then I miss the heart by like 1 pixel and die. It was over. Like, it was a really good run. You can see my sum of best over the last 60 days has been lowered to 1830, and now my sum of best with the cannonless fail was at 1922, the best possible time. So if everything was flawless, this was an easy sub 20 pace, which was my goal. So this mistake unfortunately lost like more than a minute. So after Fire Sea, the best possible time was only at 21, and it is still within world record pace though. Like, the world record is still a 21:47, as you might remember. So even though there were these big mistakes, I have improved so much over the last months at this point, because yeah, it's been 6 months since I started the grind. I got a first try BLJ, I got a really clean second BLJ as well. I believe. Yeah, like basically instant BLJ, and then I cruise through. I just get a really, really good sky. There have been lots and lots of tiny strat improvements that I won't go into detail here because I want to make like a full documentary still when I actually get the sub 20. I want to like really deep dive into everything and every single day and all the new strats that we got. Right now I'm just doing like a little overview. I did fail elevator skip here once, but it doesn't lose much time. And yeah, we enter Bubzia with 20 minutes 20 seconds on the clock. Best possible time is 21:12, which would be huge. Still a huge world record, even though we lost close to 2 whole minutes in Fire Sea. But yeah, the problem is it's hard to play perfect for so long. Like in this state of Blindfolded and the sub 20 in general, we just are not allowed to make mistakes. As easy as that sounds, like you are not allowed to fail. In order to get the sub 20, you need a deathless and major mistakeless run. And yeah, I hit a first try Bubzia throw, so I was 100% sure it was over, by the way. I was like, there is no way on earth I'm still on pace after all these mistakes. But yeah, that is it. Day 62 of the grind, 6 months after I started, finally a new world record in 21 minutes 13 seconds. Still no new minute barrier, but it was the first PB after, yeah, such a long time of nothing, just optimizing, practicing every single day for hours. As I said, I was tired, dude. I was really tired. After this world record, I sat down and thought a bit about things, and let me just read this out, I guess. So from Monday on, we are doing a full turn on the 16-star grind. I've calculated some stuff and I pretty much confirmed that I am stopping the LBLJ route for at least a while. After some calculations and some optimizations in my head that we can check on Monday, I came to the conclusion that I absolutely can get the sub 20 with the no LBLJ route, and that it will simply be more fun both for me and the viewers to actually run the game and not reset 50 times per day only to get once past Dark World's Red. More infos on Monday's stream. So yeah, I basically said I cannot deal with this anymore. I was mentally completely crushed. Even though one day before we got a world record with the LBLJ, it was just like, yeah, I'm grinding relentlessly, I'm practicing so hard, I'm putting so much effort into it, and it was so frustrating to not get anything going the entire day, 3 hours of the stream. And I could see my chat was like unhappy about it because I was just watching the intro for the entire day. I was unhappy about it because I couldn't run, I couldn't even practice. You waste 3 hours of your life every day by watching the intro. You don't even practice the late game or something. Like, you just reset and reset and reset. I calculated it, and a sub 20 was and is indeed possible with the no LBLJ route as well. It's just more tight because those 30 to 40 second time save is gone. So what I decided is I rather focus on consistency instead of speed, like back to the straight off, that I actually want to try to get a god run that just has no mistakes. If I just consistently play and get good runs without mistakes, then it will happen. And that was the plan. And the next 10 days of the grind, I worked on it, and we started running the no LBLJ route for like a long time. And it did help. I honestly have to say it did help. Like, I got world record paces close to every second day or something until, well, things stopped working again. But that's another story. Because, as if I already told you 1,000 times, as if I didn't have enough to do, on June 23rd, day 74 of the grind, I got accepted into yet another major marathon in the world, which is RTA in Japan, with Blindfolded 1 star. And Blindfolded 1 star, you need to imagine, is the most, to this day. I've run multiple times at GDQ in person, I've done multiple runs at RTA in Japan, multiple runs at ESA, and 1 star, I knew from the get-go, this will be the most stressful and hard and most difficult speedrun I've ever done live. I knew this is a bad idea to submit. This will probably not work out as I want to, and yeah, I got accepted with it. Yeah, it just added up to the projects that I need to practice in this year. So I had time. The acceptance of the submissions were on June, and I had the runs only on August, so I had lots of time. So for now, I just forgot about it. But yeah, I kept practicing the no LBLJ run, but there was constantly something else I had to focus on as well. So I did the same structure: 2 hours of 16 star, 1 hour of whatever else is going on, and that was randomizer and 1 star. So 6th July 2024, day 81 of the run, of the grind, I actually did travel to the US and performed the randomizer. I also continued streaming from the hotel room because I was like, as stupid as that sounds, I just cannot afford to not do 16 star for 1 week because I will get rusty and the entire past 6 months of practicing will be for nothing. I need to keep going, and I just streamed like from the hotel room, like world record attempts from 16 star. After these world record attempts, I practiced a bit for randomizer, and yeah, the randomizer run was really fun. It was a success. People loved it. It was really great. That was after this in July, day 81 of the grind. It was like, okay, at least one big project out of all of my mind, you know. But yeah, as if that also wasn't enough. As if that also was not enough, I also had IRL some really crazy stuff going on because, hey, I got married 2 days after I came back from the US. Even before, we already were planning lots of things with like family and all that things, how we set up the whole wedding. What I mostly want to achieve right now is I want to tell you that during this whole 16 star grind, there was so much going on in my life that it's pretty insane that like we actually kept going and like didn't take a major break. We still practiced every day and like tried to push forwards and get new world records, you know. Things just continued. Like on day 84 of the grind, July 24th, I was on the Twitch front page for the first time, and I did a 160 star speedrun, which is 16 star 10 times in a row, which this also again really helped to bring attention to blindfolded speedruns and 16 star and the whole grind in general, which is like super cool because I'm just doing this because I want to prove something to, I don't know, myself, the world. Honestly, I don't know who I want to prove something to, but this is what I love to do, you know. This is fun for me. This is like what I really love to achieve and love to do. So new people joining in to just watch this whole progress of the grind is like it's like amazing. Like I cannot overstress that, and I'm super happy that we had so many lucky coincidences during the grind and that so many people could follow it. Like even though this was at day 84 already, so many new people come and like they realize, okay, like this guy is grinding, this is something that I can watch continuously, you know. It's not like a one-off that like, okay, I switch a category, I get a world record in 1 day and then it's over. Like it's not like that. We kept going 16 star, constantly practice, constantly optimizing. It is a bit funny because I'm not showing much footage and I'm not talking much about the actual streams of 16 star because there was really not much to it. It was interesting. I got runs and I was grinding, but as bad as that sounds, I achieved nothing. I was just literally trying my very best to get better at the game, to find new strats, to get faster times, but in terms of achievements, there was nothing for a long period of time. Again, it first took like multiple months to get a new world record, and after that world record, it stopped again. Like there was again a long, multiple month period of nothing. Just every day practicing, getting better. SGDQ was done, wedding was done, Twitch front page was done. The last thing we had to do was practice for RTA in Japan because it was already end of July. I had to start practicing for the marathon, right? And the most insane thing of my life happened. So during a literal DRS run of 1 star, this happened here. I failed a 1 star run and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna try for 0 star. Surely, like I haven't practiced this at all in like a year, and this is the hardest thing you can do in the game, and I didn't practice this even. I practiced 1 star, you know? I did 1 star for RTA in Japan, and this was like, okay, frick it. And I freaking had DDD skip in the D-Rust run, in the failed 1 star run, and everyone is freaking out, and I cannot believe that this happened, honestly. Like, you don't understand. Like, 0 star, when I first got it, the world first completion, right? It took me multiple months of grinding 0 star and DDD skip specifically. Every single day, 3 hours of SBLJ. And I did get it after multiple months. And this was like the second day I did 1 star, and I didn't even try for 0 star. And I just got it, dude. Like, it is insane. The stars that have to align for this to happen probably it would have been easier to win the freaking lottery at this point. So I got 0 star, and then I clutched it out, and I actually improved the world record by multiple minutes. So I got a 19-minute 0 star time, which is a huge new world record, and this will probably stay for quite a while because I'm not touching that category, dude. the 0 star is cursed, man. Like, I don't want to have anything to do with this anymore. Everything went good. Like, GDQ went good, wedding went good, front page went good, freaking 0 star went good. Everything went good besides 16 star. 16 star was the thing I did the most in my life at this point, but it just didn't work out. And then imagine 0 star was on the 5th August, day 89. And then on the 9th August, only a couple of days later, boom, 1 star world record. 13 minutes, 19 seconds. World record improvement by a lot. So I basically improved 0 star and 1 star before I got a new PB in 16. Which is like, how? I practiced so much for 16. Why is 16 star so hard, dude? People have been joking like, yeah, but you've done 120 star, and I kept telling everyone, and I think still nobody really believes me to this day, but this 16 star grind right here, the sub 20 grind, is much harder than anything I did in 120 star. I do agree, it is different skill sets that you need. 120 star is much more an endurance race and endurance type of run, where you need to memorize lots of stuff, lots of setups, and you need to know lots of game information. But in terms of skill, the level of optimization, the level of gameplay that you need to perform to get a sub 20 blindfolded, 120 star is nothing compared to that in terms of skill. I sit here now saying this at day 100, like it has been more than 100 days of streaming, it is September now, so more than 9 months since I started practicing for sub 20. 9 whole months, every single day, dude. 9 months. 120 star took a year and 3 months, and 120 star is so long. Just like to get the perspective, you know. 16 star, I've been practicing for this sub 20 now close to the same amount of time as 120 star, but 16 star is 20 minutes long. I tried to save 1 more minute from the world record to get the sub 20, and it's just not working because it's so insanely hard. So yeah, the one thing is I kept telling myself, because you know, I'm mentally, at least I am pretty okay and pretty strong in these type of senses. Like, I knew from the very beginning that this will be a hard grind, it will take a long time, and it will not be easy for sure. So I was pretty okay, especially after we switched back like to the no LBLJ route. It was like very easy on me, until, as I said, the no LBLJ route stopped working. Most particularly the little penguin star, which is I'm still so mad about it, because it's one of the easiest stars in the run. It just stopped working. I could not get it. Every single run died at the little penguin, dude. And it's so frustrating, because you know, you practice since 100 days all these hard things, and I kept failing it for like 2 weeks straight or something at this point. Day 80 of the grind till day 95 or so, I just kept failing the little penguin so often, and that's something I can really not handle well. Like, if it's my mistake, if I make a mistake and I learn from it, even on world record pace, I can mess up the freaking standing left side a billion times. If I know that it's my mistake and I can learn from it, it's all good, you know? But the little penguin star, it seemed so random. If there is so many slopes that push you into different directions, the camera goes all over the place, you can just lose time because nothing happens. Like, it just makes me angry to think about. So yeah, I was done, dude. I was complete. This was the one thing in this whole 100 days that really, really, really pissed me off, dude. People told me like, okay, then just do a different star and stuff, but I was so done with the no LBLJ route because of the little penguin. I just said, screw you all, honestly. I rather go back and do LBLJ and Dark World Reds and reset the entire day, instead of going one more time to CCM, dude. Because if I need to go to CCM one more time, I'm gonna puke, dude. I just really, really had enough of it, and I decided, dude, I just practiced LBLJ again, and there was this whole 1-star grind, very, very close, like after I switched basically to the no LBLJ, I still did the 1-star world record and 0-star world record, and apparently that really helped, because I got much better at LBLJ. I didn't have to reset so many runs anymore. The reset rate definitely went down quite a bit, and yeah, on day 99 of the grind, 28th of August, I got a run going. I got first try LBLJ, I got Dark World, and I got a run that went past Fire Sea, and as you can see on my sum of best, so I entered Dire Docks, and you can see my sum of best is 18:13, and the best possible time is 19 minutes and 9 seconds. That is a sub 20 pace by a lot. That's a lot. The run was just really, really good. I nailed Logless, I nailed LBLJ, I nailed Bubzia Dark World Reds, and I was just cruising, you know? And it was like, again, 1 or 2 days after I switched back to LBLJ. So I was like really, really hyped that like, okay, apparently, even if I just get 1 run per day, even if I reset a lot, if I get a run, I'm doing it, dude. Like, I'm fast. Holy shit. Like, I can play this game really well. And yeah, we got this pacer, and then I clipped onto the sub here. I made a big mistake, and this was also my fault. I was just like 1 frame too far, not far enough on the turn, and I got completely lost in DDD. And I did a backup with like backflips, and long story short, I then also BLJs were like pretty good. BLJs were like first try maybe. Yeah, first try BLJs, and then Sky was good. And then Bubzia was good, and basically I nailed the entire run, and boom, 20 minutes, 15 seconds, hit the Bubzia on the bomb, and nobody expected it. I switched back to LBLJ, and yet again, instant new world record, and also the first time the 21-minute barrier has been broken in SM64. That was the world record at that time on beginning of September, or like end of August rather, 28th of August this happened. And the crazy thing is, if I did not make the mistake in Dire Dogs, which cost me more than a minute, this would have been it. This would have been in 1930. The sub 20 dream would have been done right here. That was like huge, because apparently LBLJ is crazy. I'm pretty good at the game. And then only 2 streams later at 3rd of September in day 101 it was, I was just streaming, and I did the LBLJ run. I reset for like an hour or so, or 2 hours. I reset quite a lot, and then I got a run going. The funny thing is, I very clearly remember I got a run going, and I golded Dark World and LBLJ by 6 whole seconds. I got a perfect early game basically, and the funny thing is, this made me nervous because I knew I got a really good beginning game. I was nervous in Womps, and that shouldn't happen. Like, you should never be nervous in Womps, because every single thing can kill the run at this point. I was just trying to hold myself together, and then I went through Womps, everything went well. Then Logless, boom, first try Logless. I'm just like in disbelief. And then we go to HMC, we go to MIPS, and boom, first try MIPS, a gold MIPS actually, a gold MIPS, and look at this. My sum of best is an 1858. And then I make it past DDD, past Fire Sea. Even after Fire Sea, my best possible time is a 1901. I was basically on sub 19 pace. Like, into the last 2 splits, a sub 19. This is insane. This was by far the best run I've ever done in my life. And like, it was just like a random ass stream. This was the moment I knew, okay, the LBLJ route is OP. I am really freaking good at the game right now. I am playing out of my mind as soon as I get past the first gate, which is Dark World Reds and LBLJ, and also Logless. Like, if these 2 things are okay, I am running, dude. I am fast. I can do it. I can get the sub 20, man. And this day right there, when I got the sub 19 pacer, which, spoiler alert, I failed LBLJ. I got a good LBLJ and then got scammed. I got a first try LBLJ, and then I lost my speed at the wall, and that was it. Yeah, I lost like multiple minutes to BLJs. So, and then I died also in Sky. I also died in Sky. So I finished the run in like 23 minutes, but the potential, man, was there. So I was very, very happy about this. It just made something click, I think, in me, because you know what happened next day? Next day, I will not even go too far into the details, because maybe you've seen it already, but 1 day later, new world record in 20 minutes, 24 seconds. And the thing is, this run had the controller disconnect after Fire Sea, which cost me more than 15 seconds. You can see right here, I'm just like, my controller is not working, and I'm here for like 10 seconds until I finally click the text box away. While this wouldn't have been a sub 20 pace, this world record here, you need to basically subtract 16 seconds due to tech issues. And you know, this was 1 day after the crazy god pacer. Yeah, and then I was like, okay, this is a new world record. Everyone was happy. I was like, this run sucked. This run was not even even that good. After the sub 19 pacer, I myself felt like this run, this is the current world record, by the way. Spoiler alert, there has not been a new world record since then. As stupid as that sounds, I think if we get like a 1950 or something, I don't think I'll be satisfied. I think literally like I can do better. Considering how I started playing now with the LBLJ route, not only that, but only one day later, another pacer, sub 19 into logless. Sub 19 pacer into logless, and then I messed up logless and I died. Literally same day, one run later, once again, sub 19 pace into logless. Literally the same stream, day 103 of the grind, 9th September, another fail at logless with a sub 19 minute best possible time. And I clutched out this run, and then I got the god endgame. I got a gold BLJ by 1 second, and then a gold Bubzia in the sky by 3 seconds. And we are into Bubzia with only 19 minutes, so best possible time is still sub 20, even though with a failed logless. Like, I play so well that even if I make a major mistake, like a death, I can still sub 20 by quite a bit. And then Bubzia decided to jump and jump and jump and jump, and I got the worst luck in history of Mario 64 probably. And then he was too close, so I had to kill the run. I basically lost like 5 coin flips in a row, which is insane, unlucky. But then again, as I said, would I be satisfied if I have a run with a death and like other tiny major time losses everywhere? Like, I can do so much better. I got so good at the game in the past few weeks. 10th September, one day later, day 104 of the grind. We are on 1853 pace into logless, and I fail it again. Logless is just so hard. Like, basically every single day, not only on world record pace, but on like sub 19 pace into logless. Like, I'm very sure a sub 19 will not happen, because I will need to play perfect for way too long. But one day later, day 105 of the grind, I make a tiny mistake in Dark World. I fall down this little ledge here, which costs like 20 seconds. And I keep going though. I get a first try logless. And I get a god BLJ. The second BLJ was a bit slow. I start like sliding around here, and what really killed it afterwards was standing left side. I just didn't hit the right frames with the jump. Very unfortunate, but look at the best possible time, 1938, with, again, like a 20-second time loss in the first split. As if that wasn't enough, let me quickly go to literally yesterday. Yesterday was day 106 of the grind, 1911 pace into Fire Sea. I clean out DDD perfect, I clean out Fire Sea perfect. First try BLJ, still 1912 pace. 1912 pace, ladies and gentlemen. Missed the door here a bit. I got a decent BLJ number 2, and then I fall down at left side again. 19 minutes 18 best possible time. If I would have not, if I didn't mess up this jump, it would have been a very low 19 time, which is, as I said, a sub 20 is probably not gonna do it anymore. Like, I will either crush it and get the low 19 time, or I will potentially just keep going. I don't know. I don't know what the future holds, but this is kind of the history of what's going on here. I just wanted to talk about it because, first of all, number one, it can happen any day now. The sub 20 can happen literally any stream now. So if you don't want to miss it, I highly recommend to join the streams. It is really fun right now because, as you could see, since 1.5 weeks, every single day I am on world record pace into endgame. It's just crazy how consistent and fast I play. Like, I'm not saying this to like be self-boasting or however it's called. I'm saying this because I'm literally like dumbstruck how crazily consistent I play. It's really insane. And as long as we get past Logless and Dark World, it's like I'm rocking this, man. What I want to conclude this video with is basically, yeah, the sub 20 will happen any day now. I really think it's a matter of days at this point, or like at least weeks. If I get a sub 20 that is like a 1958 or something, barely sub 20, I still think I will be satisfied. Honestly, there is a very high chance I will either continue right away or like take a tiny break and then come back to get at least I think a 1930 or like a sub 1930 maybe, who knows. I am very motivated right now. As I said, like there has been very many up and downs during this whole grind in terms of mentality and motivation, but right now I'm peaking. I am feeling so good about the game. It's so much fun to play. I'm back to the LBLJ route, and it was the best decision to switch back, honestly. So I kind of, after 16 star, want to do 70 star again, potentially dab a bit into 120 star. The best case scenario is that I just literally in the next couple of days throw out a 19-minute 10-second time, and then I'm done forever. I'm saying it, I'm pretty sure that if I get the low 19 time, I'm done with 16 star, like literally forever. I had my fun with the game, but I'm grinding this category since now 9 months every day. It's only the grind from the 22-minute world record down to the 20-minute world record. I've been grinding this particular 16-star run now for 7 years. The first 16-star blindfolded run was 7 years ago for me. I think this is kind of my final goal, and afterwards we're gonna focus on 70-star, on 120-star, on all the other categories, other games. But yeah, this was kind of a much longer history than I thought I will do. I thought this would be like a 20-minute little chit-chat, but I guess that's what happened when you don't have a script and just start talking around. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. As I said, please leave me some feedback if you like this kind of talking about video, like very not much editing and stuff from my side, but my raw thoughts, you know. This whole grind is something very personal to me. In a sense, I believe also for many of my viewers, because they have been here since day 0 and day 1. And they saw the entire progress of me getting slowly better, struggling with all the things that kept going into my way. And I'm just so happy that like we are finally so close to the goal. And I want to I honestly, my biggest goal is just to share this whole love of blindfolded speedruns, this whole how much fun this can be, and how many emotions there are, you know. Like it might sound stupid, but there's so much going on with this grind, and I just want to share it with the world. And that's why it made me so happy that Summoning Salt reached out and made the whole history here about this. I'm so happy that we get chances to like go to the Twitch front page, for example, and that so many people here join from the videos, from YouTube, from all the short form content that I started uploading on TikTok and Instagram, from Twitch, of course. There is so much support for this grind, and I'm just so thankful for it. I cannot overstress that. If you don't want to miss the final sub 20 run, definitely come out and hang out. It's gonna be worth it. And with that being said, thank you so much for watching. Really huge shoutouts to all of my Patreons: Boris, Bob Farrell, Ben Litz, Ziggsmany, King Roops, all the other ones as well, as always. Thank you so incredibly much, and I will see you around with a sub 20 hopefully very soon. I'm super stoked. Like the last weeks have been insane, really. Every single day there is a world record pacer, every single day. Bit of a different video. Hope you like it. Leave me feedback, very much appreciated, and take care. Bye bye.